Was that enough to get us to hello and welcome to the AWKWARDCast?
If I would have been prepared for this, yes. So now we need to stall. I'm not sure. Can I edit this out? Maybe I can edit it out. Okay, so we pretend that you asked the. Was this enough part, and then. Yes, it was! And with this, hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast, where Ayn Wye and Keyframe wonder about random drivel.
Unedited, unfiltered.
Yeah, that is the true... Whoa, what just happened in the chat there? Oh no, the entire chat just returned
and
with
also,
a vengeance.
Let's play the game of will Max remember to do that edit on Monday? Probably not.
I mean, I actually have to listen to this part that I have as an intro play, so I will hear my own reminder. But will I be too lazy to actually go with it? That is a true question.
That will be the question. But hello, everyone. Look, we're in the same place.
Huzzah.
We are in the same place.
Huzzah.
You know, that's the part where you actually go and say something that's not huzzah.
I mean, you repeated yourself, so what was I supposed to do? Not repeat it if you're allowed to repeat. Also, we are very, very uneven in this frame. Okay. Yeah.
There we go. Hello.
Better.
We have to be cozy. We have to act like we like each other.
Do we?
Yes. But no, I'm here in Germany for a couple weeks. Because I just needed to make sure that he got the proper dosage of summertime Chrissy.
A little Germany flag or something.
What's the German national anthem sound like?
Now I have to... Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit für das deutsche Vaterland. Danach lasst uns alle streben, brüderlich mit Herz und Hand.
There you go, folks. That's your Duolingo for the day. But yes, I
remembered the national anthem. I'm kind of proud of myself there.
Good job, bud.
We are not doing that entire thing where all the kids have to stand up in the morning and sing to a piece of cloth that hangs in every classroom.
We don't sing. We just say a cult-like chant every day.
I mean, let's be honest. German music, like our national anthem, is also more or less a chant with a little bit of tonal up and down. But it's not. It's not music. It's not really music. Given that people... Now, then again, Mozart was actually Austrian. Given that was Bach German?
I don't know.
We had great composers. I'm pretty sure we had great composers at some point. But nowadays, most famous German brand of music is techno. So...
Well... Like house remix, just waiting for the drop, and the drop just has the German flag.
Something.
But yes, I'm here in Germany. It's been a great time, besides the heat. A lot of adventures, a lot of good food. We went to a really good place yesterday.
Yeah, Ushido.
Yes, which is a Japanese...
A Japanese indoor grill, but specifically with absolute high-end meat like Wagyu.
Yes, I took him and the ninja out for a belated birthday, courtesy of me, and...
I'm old now.
You've been old, hon.
It's true. I have been old for a long time. But now I have the 4 in the front to prove it.
But we went there, and it was so good. It was so good. Though my favorite part that tasted even better than the steak was... So I was paying and everything. And, you know, we're just talking. We're having... me and Denim are having little desserts with sorbet. We're all having a end of the meal beverage and everything. And the guy comes, here's the check. Check is open. And I looked and I saw and I'm paying it on Apple Pay. And then I look over, keep talking to Denim. And in my peripheral, I just see, let me recreate it for you guys, what Ayn Wye looked like. Just...
Because I was saying, I had a certain idea where the price has to be, but then it was still quite a number higher than I expected, because I ignored some special orders that happened.
Yes.
So I was like eyebrows hitting the ceiling.
It was one of those things where we walked out and him was like, thank you for the meal, that was great. We're not you are not paying for a single meal the next few days. And
now I have to basically call dibs whenever food is involved.
Because I fully respect the art of the dib.
I found her one weakness.
My one weakness is the art of the dib. But that means I can call dibs.
No.
Exactly, but it's just a matter of who's quicker on the draw. But yes, it was really good. Then besides that, we've just been chilling like villains, watching things.
Hunting ghosts. We could make this our first media, so to speak. Because it has been, I'm pretty sure I talked about it.
This is the newer version of the game.
Exactly. I have pretty sure. We have not just been talking about it, we have played it live on this podcast.
The older version. When I had to basically babysit you and Chuggle.
Yeah, exactly. I don't...
The objective worst still online episode of AWKWARDCast.
I dare to disagree. I haven't rewatched it, so I wouldn't really know, but...
It was the worst experience.
3 years ago, 1 year ago, that sounds promising.
Have you ever babysat 2 grown men while trying to host a show?
Okay, let's see. Is this a new one? This looks... Finally coming to... Oh yeah, there are multiple new items, so this must be the new one. Okay, so even with a little bit of visual aid here. Phasmophobia is back, baby, and by back, baby, I mean it's finally released, I believe. It's officially version whatever it is.
It's not early access.
Yeah, exactly. I believe, right? Where do you see the stupid version?
Store page.
Info, maybe? Or info, one of those. Okay, let's go store page. The irony that you find it easier on the store page which version is going. Oh no, it is on it. It's still early access, really? Because they did a major release where they basically, to the point where all your previous everything. Oh, it's Steam itself. I haven't Steam muted. But yeah, 24 Ghost Type. Yeah, they did a major release, major update not too long ago, where they basically reset every player. So if you were a real
level 100 something.
I was in my multiple hundreds, and if you did that, then you returned to this fancy new one where now items come with upgrades and whatnot. And for all your past efforts, for all your hours upon hours you put in before that particular version, you got literally just a little plaque on the wall which reads like, "Congratulations! Before the big release day, you had level 106. Well done, well done." And here's a nice big backdrop
little plaque, and it's like, well, have fun earning that back.
Exactly, you start back by 0, baby. But I have to say, it brought, because that was the thing. By now we're already getting to this point again. We were so high equipped, and okay, the high equipment is still a challenge at the moment, but we had such a strong routine back in the day. Me and the folks who played it with, sadly not Key, because back in the day her computer and Phasmo hated each other.
Yeah, I don't know why. The older version of Phasmo just refused to work on my computer. My high-end editing PC just hated Phasmophobia.
Or the other way around. Maybe, we all know that old Phasmo ran pretty shitty, so maybe the computer was too good to run a shitty game like Phasmo.
Maybe.
But the point being that, big reset, have to start from 0. You actually have to fight again to beat the map, because back in the day, too much routine. We had so much routine. We were just storming in, having all the equipment in the world. There were no challenges. The challenge is back. You have to grindingly upgrade your equipment. And equipment like, oh, I unlocked cross level 2. Now we are basically on the same level as we used to be in the old game. Finally, after 40 levels.
Oh my god, I don't have to read an analog thermometer.
Exactly. So, and they also introduced, items that actually get used up. When you burn a smudge stick, it's actually gone and need to be rebought.
Yeah, and so
It's
there's
not
actually
magically
punishment
replenishing.
for things like having 3 people all burn their smudge stick at the same time.
Oh yeah.
You want to tell that story?
I mean, that was just like, I don't even know why we were still in there. We
had to stop a
repellent.
hunt. We had to escape a hunt. It was trying to get all the quests. Because there was a quest where it's like you have to try to escape a hunt.
Exactly. And the easiest way to do this is because if you just hide, the ghost doesn't really actively hunt you and you don't count as escaped. So the easiest way, quote unquote, to do this is wait for a hunt to start, wait for the ghost to log in on you, and then repel it with a smudge stick, which buys you a second or something, and then run for your life. We all 3 stood there at the ready, like in a hallway, like while our 4th player was actually in the truck or something.
Yeah, in the van.
And we 3 people, like
me,
Key, Denim, and me, standing all 3 like in this hallway, right, ready. All 3 with the smudge stick at the ready.
Yeah.
Ghost, boo, spooks us, and we all 3 like lit our smudge stick. I'm burning my smudge stick. And I'm like, I fell for a spook. I turn around and I see 2 more glowing smudge sticks out of 4 in total, and I'm like, we just burned all our smudge sticks. 1 second later, actual hunt starts. Immediately, someone of us dead.
Yes, it was not our finest moment in the game.
But yeah, the shenanigans are back in Phasmophobia.
Yes, shenanigans are back, it's a lot of fun. Harder to do with 4 people than 3.
Because your resources, you don't get more resources. So when you are by yourself, you drain you drain the. It doesn't matter how many people are there. If you're active in the around the ghost, the sanity drops at the same rate. But you have sanity pills who boost it up again. Yes. But if you have to split the sanity pills before more people, obviously there's less build up per person left. So, and the lower the sanity, the more hunts and.
Yes. Also, no, Fidel. It's not a Ghostbuster scenario, because in theory the Ghostbusters actually catch the damn thing.
Nope.
This is investigating and run away.
And then the real Ghostbusters come in off camera.
Yes, we do the pre-work.
Yep.
We give them prep time.
Basically.
But, I recommend the new Phasmo. I think it solved a lot of the problems I had with the old Phasmo, because I did find the old Phasmo a little bit boring after a while. Mostly just because it came to a certain point where it's like, if you just have everything.
Yeah.
It's also the thing of like, I like the experience of it when it's not completely just going in headway with no plan, with everyone kind of being it was more fun once I actually started to understand.
Yeah.
But that's not against the game. That's just in general.
Against the players.
Learn to include your team members.
Yes, because we were like a team of 3, like Denim, my nephew, and Ish, and me, and we already had played a bunch of rounds over the last couple weeks, and we had like a routine. We were like, grab, run out, and poor Key, who theoretically had previous experience from ages ago before she gave up on her old computer.
Yes.
Was like, guys,
what do I do?
Hello?
I guess I'll grab an EMP meter.
Yeah, but by now
I know what I'm doing. And now I keep asking for insanity mode, and everyone's just...
Vito.
Why not?
We played it once. It was a TPK within 5 minutes. This shit is too expensive.
Why can't I learn the hard way?
You play nightmare mode when you literally have money to waste in the game.
I do have money to waste. Do you want to tell them that why I have?
Oh yeah, right. Because she was baby in the team. And all of us had like all our unlocked higher level equipment, so there was no point. So we basically carried her financially. She was 3-way sugar daddied and sugar mommied, so she up until yesterday evening or earlier today. Up until today, and she's level 16 or something. Up until today, she hasn't gotten the second highest achievement, which is spend a single dollar, also like in-game dollar in the in-game store, because she was completely carried by the rest of the team.
Yeah, so
she has 8,000
I have like $8,000 just because I never spent any money in the game. Oh, but yes, Phasmo is good.
Phasmo is fun with friends. I never tried going into a public game online, but just knowing public games online, unless they have the most heartfelt, welcoming community, which I have my doubts. I don't know if I would play. But then again, I have never tried it. Don't listen to me. Try it for yourself. But if you have a bad experience with a random public game, know that with friends it is fun.
Yes.
Okay, more media, I guess.
More media.
That was Phasmo. All the Phasmos are no longer needed. I guess, we can talk about this one, I guess. So we, not all the way through, but through the majority of the first season.
We're 3 episodes away from the end of Batman Caped Crusader Season 1. I'm going to quote him from a video that never came out.
Oh my.
Well, because you talked about Unicorn Warrior Eternal.
Yeah.
And I feel like you talked about it on this show too, but it's like,
probably.
This show has all the ingredients of a show I would like. Like dark atmosphere, noir, referencing obscure villains, doing new things. But it
doesn't click.
Something doesn't click.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it feels painfully slow too, and not in like a Samurai Jack artistic way, just in a it just feels slow. And it gets progressively feeling more like that as the show goes on, because the first few episodes were really good. And it disappoints me because there's a lot about it that I like. I like a lot of the new interpretations of characters. I like
Point in case.
Harley was really good. Penguin was really good. I love the new idea they had with Clayface. I think all this was really good. And then it just got boring. It's a much slower BT Batman the Animated Series. And it's like, not to say that I need constant stimuli and keys jangling. That's not what Batman is. But it's just like, it just feels off. It feels off. And I mean, you're also a Batman fan, so I don't
Correct, yeah. I mean, I'm enough of a Batman fan to eventually have finished and 100%ed Batman Arkham Knight, which is like, it's so dumb. I mean, half the time while playing it, I was either laughing or complaining about how stupid the story is and how it's the stupidest Batman ever. I believe I talked about it on the show, didn't I? Yeah. So, but no, definitely Batman fan. Back in the day, my favorite DC hero was, without competition, Batman. Nowadays, with knowing more, I don't know if I would just pick this one above all others, especially since I've seen different interpretations. But yeah, Batman fan for sure. And, well, Caped Crusader, it's just,
we're going to finish it.
Yeah, obviously. But I described it the other day as reverse My Adventures with Superman. My Adventures with Superman, where the opening episode left me in such a meh kind of state that I was ready to drop the show, and then with every succeeding episode, I was like,
so much better.
It's so much better, and now it's one of my favorite. You pointed as your favorite interpretation of.
It's my favorite interpretation of Superman.
Yeah. Not 100% sure if I would agree, simply because I would probably have to reflect on it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
But it's a contender. It's for me also
yes,
absolute
it's a very,
contender.
very good. And this feels like the first few episodes got me hooked. I was like, I love the atmosphere. I love the ideas here.
Yep.
Really, after the Harley episode, everything kind of went downhill.
Yeah.
Like, the Catwoman episode was so disappointing.
Yeah.
And, like, they also had an episode of a very obscure villain, Firebug, where it was like, you could have explored a lot with this, of like, oh, this is just a mentally ill man. And, police corruption and all this stuff, and it just felt dull. Like,
didn't really have much bite to it, ironically. Even though, what's the rating on this one? This is a surprisingly mature rated one, right?
Yeah, like, it is supposed to be the adult Batman cartoon.
And yet it has, while it has a little bit more, like, blood and grittiness to it. It's lacking bite.
It really is. Which is so weird given that the cartoon that aired on like Saturday mornings had more bite to it. And it's made by the same people and J.J. Abrams and all this stuff.
It doesn't track. It doesn't. Track.
And also, let me just say, I really don't like the Bruce Wayne in this show. The actor does a good job.
Mm-hmm,
He's a good voice for it. Very Kevin Conroy-y. Like, Hamish does a good job. This is not against the actor. And I understand they're trying to do, like, this is when This is when Batman just started, because they're still calling him, like, a vigilante, like, it's a new thing.
Yeah.
But God, there's no likable aspect of this Bruce Wayne that makes him because he is supposed to be, like, the likable playboy millionaire.
Yeah.
And the moments where he is supposed to be, like, pretending to be a likable playboy millionaire is just so, like, bland. And it feels like anyone with, like, 2 brain cells can, like, tell that he's faking it. When you watch Batman the Animated Series or Superman, when there were moments where, you know, Clark and Bruce were together, Bruce was still acted like Bruce. Like, you could see that he has the roll down of this debonair kind of person. And that's the problem with both Superman and Batman, is that it's the test of if you can write these characters well, if you can write their alter egos as well as their superhero personas. And that's why My Adventures is so good, is that Clark is a really good character.
Yeah.
And that supplements Superman. This one, Batman works perfectly fine. But Bruce is nothing. And he's also an asshole to Alfred.
Oh, yeah, he's an ass.
Which is also, there's a moment, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but there's a...
I can put it up just in case.
It's
Probably minor spoiler.
It's from the Harley episode where we see flashbacks of Bruce after his parents got shot, which is Batman's origin story.
Yeah.
So, but this kid's a fucking psycho. There's literally a scene where, because it shows, like, Alfred's perspective, and he's asleep, and he wakes up, and Bruce is just at the door staring at him, being like, I'm gonna make them all pay.
Like little baby Bruce.
Like, yeah, little, like, 5-year-old just watching...
Post-parent's death.
Post-parent's death, just, I'm gonna make them all pay. And, like, Alfred's nothing but nice. It's so weird. Look, everyone, maybe this is just not my vibe, and this is objectively a good thing, because there's a lot of good elements to it. Because, like, they brought back Montoya, which she's really good. Harley, I love this Harley interpretation. Like, it's a very good non-Joker related Harley. Like, it actually makes the Harlequin style make sense in of herself. Like I said, Two-Face is good, the Penguin is good. It really just dropped off with Catwoman, which is so disappointing.
She was also, like, so slow-paced, kind of, and so... Then I'm also not a fan of that Commissioner Gordon, because he is reckless and stubborn and not really,
Barbara or...
Commissioner.
Oh,
Yeah, he's just like... He's usually the before Commissioner Gordon. Often when you have a younger Commissioner Gordon and he's not yet commissioner, he's just captain or something.
Yes.
And the old commissioner is still in place, and he is kind of like blocking everything and being a hard ass and making it hard and being all like this vigilante. But here Gordon is this antagonistic hard ass.
Yeah.
Which is like, no, don't make Gordon the one who is.
And also, Harvey Dent is like one of the main, like, recurring characters, and you're just waiting for him to fucking
obviously.
Yes, but here's the thing: is that I don't know when they started doing this with Harvey, where, like, you just kind of want him to get hurt, because, like, in the Batman animated series, there were some episodes before he became Two-Face. And you could see why him and Bruce were friends.
Oh, yeah.
But then you get, like, shows like Harley Quinn and this show, where Harvey's just a fucking asshole the whole time. And it's like...
In the Harley Quinn show, who isn't?
I mean, yeah. I know that the Kite Man show just came out. I've seen clips, and I'm like, maybe I'll like this show just because it's Kite Man and not Harley is not the main character. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, go watch Batman Cape Crusader for yourself. But
muffled.
It's a C+ of a show. Batman the C+ Crusader.
Excellent. So
Let's do something a bit more positive.
Let's do something positive that we still share.
Undead?
I guess another one that comes more from the first impression department.
I found an anime I like. This is a rare occurrence.
No. I also found one that I like, but that is a very common occurrence.
But okay, so how to describe this show?
So there's this guy. He's undead.
Yes, and then there's this girl. She's Unluck.
Exactly.
And we are the Property Brothers. But, like, no, Undead Unluck is basically, in this world, there are some people in the, like, anomalies in this world that have quirks, special powers, special abilities that affect...
They're all about...
something.
Yeah, what do they call it? Disruptors? No.
Negators.
Negators. They're all negators.
There's external ones where it affects the world around them, or internal ones where it just affects them themselves. And so you have this girl who has the power of Unluck. So she touches you, and something bad will happen to you. And, like, she is about to jump off a bridge. And then, but she is rescued by this guy, this One Piece looking ass character, who she names Andy.
Because Undead.
And he, in his naked glory, cannot die. And he's just like, hey, I'm gonna, cause her Unluck, the unlucky thing that happens gets more powerful the more she likes the person. So he's like, I'm gonna romance you. So that way when you do unluck me, it's going to be bad. And it could actually finally kill me. And you'd think that this would get sad. Sometimes, but, like, this is a wacky fucking show.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so there's shenanigans, there's action, there's sometimes moments where it's like, oh my god, this is cheesecake galore. But I am having so much fun with this show. This show sold me on the first episode. I love wacky shit like this. And I love Andy. I think he's great. He's such an asshole, but he's a weirdly nice one.
As far as assholes go?
As far as assholes go. And Unluck, I know she has an actual name.
Allegedly.
But I love her. She is so, like, reactive of everything.
Yeah.
And there's so many, I guess, fair warning, it's very Japanese humor. In the sense of it's a lot of physical comedy and cheesecake comedy. I think there's literally a moment where Undead's head shoots up through her shirt and he does the whole battle while her chest is just pressed against his back.
To load up the Unluck.
To load up the Unluck.
Yeah, for those who are concerned, she is 18, so the bare minimum has been reached, which for anime is sadly not even that is the norm. So, but yeah, even I, who have been on record on this show, I believe that Japanese humor is not funny, or Japanese comedies are not funny to Western audiences often enough.
Yes.
I got a bunch of good laughs out of it, so yeah, it's even appealing to those who are not in tune with very Japanese humor.
And a lot of it also goes out to the people who dubbed this, because they are doing a great job. But the guy who plays Andy puts his all into everything he says.
Yeah.
I love him. And they are so much fun. I don't... okay.
This time it's fine, Wolf. This time it's fine.
Here's my... also, yeah, there's a... look, there's a lot of cheesecake. Her new outfit, you could see she has such big tits for someone who looks so young.
Oh god, yeah.
But also he's naked 90% of the time. So if you don't want to see anime man-ass, I guess you won't like this show. He does have a censor bar thing, like loincloth on his dick.
Yeah, you saw it in the trailer potentially earlier.
But, also if you don't like blood...
But it's like, you see how it is.
It's very anime-y blood. Yeah, but you do see his bones grow back and stuff. But it's not gory, it's showing. It's not gore, it's showing. Because he literally, like, bites his fingertips and uses them as bullets.
What is a legit funny anime? I mean, I guess you would say this one.
This one, Space Dandy.
Still haven't watched it.
I mean, I like Pop Team Epic, but that is a very acquired taste.
I heard that much, yeah.
That One Punch Man can be really funny in the first season. But, there is funny ones. But Japan is weirdly crude with their humor for such a kind of, like, society. Like, a lot of cheesecake and a lot of, like, weird humor. But, yeah. But this one is,
Delicious in Dungeon had hilarious moments.
Delicious in Dungeon's very funny.
Yeah, but it's in general a very well-rounded show.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it a comedy. It's a show that also has humor among other things.
Yeah, I'd agree.
While Undead, Unluck, action comedy?
I would say action comedy.
Action comedy, yeah.
It's a buddy movie.
Oh God, dear friend Nokotan. No, you were not there for that, right? So no. Denim and I tried the first 2 episodes and like, no. I couldn't even make it to the infamous dance scene. So I still haven't seen how and when the dance comes in. But 2 episodes, maybe at some point I have the necessary mental capacity and or scotch at hand to watch more of it in the hope that I make it at least to the dance scene. But that show is definitely not my humor. It's painful.
But yes, I would recommend this. To my knowledge, you can watch it on Disney Plus. I think it's really fun. And that's the thing. My taste in anime is so selective because either you need to be really fucking highbrow, like a Cowboy Bebop or like an Evangelion and all this stuff, where I could like psychoanalyze it. Or you need to be the dumbest fun ever. I can't go for in-betweens.
Have you tried Frieren?
I have not tried Frieren yet. I will.
It might hit the highbrow spot.
It might hit the highbrow spot.
Except for when she finds another mimic. You see, that made me chuckle every single time. Good running gag.
But yeah, so I have a very particular thing. That or shoujos. Like I like shouins and really shoujo things. If you're not Dragon Ball or Sailor Moon, get out.
I have seen Kill la Kill. Long ago, I probably have to give it a rewatch.
Kill la Kill was fun. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a comedy, but it's fun. I feel like this, if I were to associate it with another anime, I would say it has similar pacing to a Panty and Stocking episode, where it's very like, there is a lot of energy for a lot of time. So that's what I would say, Don't come into this expecting edge runners or something.
That would be again the very serious highbrow stuff.
Yeah, and I loved Edge Runner, so. But yeah, I recommend Undead Unluck personally. This has Chrissy's seal of approval.
Yeah, I would also say it's a good fun. Let me see.
It has 24 episodes to my knowledge.
Also, I started probably maintaining my anime list account. So because there's too much stuff I am watching, I have watched, and especially I want to watch. So, for those who also have a My Anime list and are interested in stalking what I'm watching, because I keep forgetting. Oh well, apparently I got logged out again. Well, that's not helpful.
Well, there you go.
It's probably Ayn Wye or something. Look for a profile named Ayn Wye. That's usually me.
So that's Undead Unluck.
Moving on.
Why don't you start talking about the Orville? I just have to quickly step away for a second.
You do that. So, but then again, no. Maybe I talk about something else in between that only I can talk about. So I finished Enigma. I hope you are there and having a good time because it's an audiobook. Haven't had one of those in a hot minute now, have we? Yes, so the third part of the Jack McKeown trilogy by Yahtzee Kroshak from back in the day Zero Punctuation and nowadays Fully Emblematic fame. He's also a book author. I talked about him numerous times before on the show, so this should not be the big news. The big news is that one of his ongoing series, namely the Jack McKeown series, concluded in his third book, and it held up all the way to the end. If you have not picked up any Jack McKeown, I would still highly recommend it. I believe, here's a funny thing, it's written by and narrated by Yahtzee, and he made them as audiobooks first, so in this particular case, I know that me being a big fan of audiobooks comes from me being very lazy and slow when it comes to reading. But usually I would still assume that...
Are we pissing off Enigma now?
Yeah. Usually I would assume that if you are somebody who prefers reading over audiobooks, that you simply would potentially follow my audiobook recommendation and pick up the book. This one, because Yahtzee primarily created the audiobooks and then only sometime later print versions became available. So at this point in time, I assume that Jack McKeown Book 3 only exists as an audiobook. And once again, it's read by the author himself, so all the voices are exactly what he imagines them to be. So
perfect vision.
Exactly. In this case, you can assume that it's and he can do voices. His voice acting matches very much his narration style, and he's good at it. So I would, in this particular case, definitely recommend the full experience by experiencing it as an audiobook. Now, what is it even? Again, probably years ago when the first book came out and I became a fan of it, I might have talked about it, but to give you a quick wrap, it's an completely original sci-fi world that he invented, all the way down to swear words, and he actually, just a small detail, just to give you a little bit of an idea how good he is as a writer. He invented his own unique swear words, which is like, yeah, every other sci-fi show that wants to be PG, they just say frickin' and other things like, which just one-to-one replace the swear word, and you know exactly when they say fuck, when they say shit. It's just another alien word that they replace it with. So pretty much like one-to-one, there is it's nothing but a very lowbrow form of censorship, but saying exactly what you mean. But in this one, the funny thing is, so there is a unique way of swearing in it. He explains it in the first book, so it's like you have those rough guys, those space pilots, who are a rough bunch, but by now are basically degraded to, due to modernization, being kicked out of their line of work and being very low on the food chain and kind of blue-collar-ish workers and struggling. And one of the people, then there was a big famous interview where a scientist was in a conversation with one of the most famous space pirate, not space pirates, they fight space pirates. They are actually space pilots.
Yes.
And because this famous space pilot and this scientist who was defending the progress that put all the space pilots out of usefulness, he used a lot of mathematical talk, and so what the space pilots did, it is space pilots, right? Now
space pilot.
Is saying something about
star pilot.
Star pilot. That's right. Space pirate, star pilot. Star pilot. I only have listened to how many.
Soon you're going to just say star pirate.
Probably. How many days worth of audiobook have I listened to? Because I also re-listened to the first two ones multiple times. So they invented, just out of spite, so the characters in book invented swearing based off mathematical words. So diff, ne? When something divides, or subtracting, when you subtract something, that is basically shit. And the subtraction is shit. Multiply, well, this one we already know, like fuck your multiply yourself, fuck yourself. But they did not just this replacement of words, which happens in universe. Later in the books, he uses those curse words in ways that go beyond just replacing. They develop a dynamic in and of itself. And at some point in one of the later books, I noticed it, like, wait a second, this is no longer just saying fuck and shit with different words. They have, like a language would actually work in real life, they organically developed and have become a part of language in and of itself that is organically advanced. And that's just an example. The story itself is following one of them star pilots.
Good job.
Who through shenanigans gets put into the role of Jack McCune, a fictional star pilot who all the real star pilots hate because he is such he's just turning them into lowbrow novels and making them not, and putting them in a tricky spot about it. And he encounters shenanigans left and right. It's a comedy, but it's also action. So I would say a sci-fi action comedy. It is funny. It still has intriguing plots to it. It's one of my favorite kinds of genres, as in it's a deconstruction and an homage to a genre in and of itself. It takes a lot of sci-fi tropes, makes complete fun of them, and yet in and of itself it is a really well written love letter to sci-fi. So
well, there you go.
Fucking check it out. And I guess now I can also talk about the show that you can technically say a lot more.
Yes, I can.
But hopefully don't, because spoilers.
I'm not going to say a lot, but
only like 3 episodes in, or 4 or something, like Into the Orville, which if you guys don't know, it's like the most Star Trek-y show that is not Star Trek.
It's the best Star Trek show, and it's not even Star Trek.
And like Galaxy Quest is the best Star Trek movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's like, it's also a little bit, not unhinged, but it's like, where Star Trek takes itself very serious, they are just so awkward about it. It's amazing. So in basically the first episode, the captain has a loud shouting match with his ex in the captain's office. However, apparently nobody mentions that it's not soundproof. So the entire bridge crew is just sitting there super awkwardly, like all staring just ahead of each other, and they hear every word of this exchange. And it's like, you first you see the fighting match going on for a few minutes, and it's like, okay, yeah, I see, yeah, it's a little bit of like character moment for them, but then the camera change and you see the bridge crew, and it's such a funny moment, like, oh no. And then you have the 2 assholes here, those 2 sitting in the front. They are fantastic. They are basically, they carry a very similar, if younger and more dynamic energy of Walter and Statler from the Muppet Show, because they are just sitting there in the front and just commentating and bullshitting the entire time. It's amazing. It's like they don't have the holding backness, contenance of Star Trek, where they're all like stiff and we are like
it's
very.
not a space soap.
Yeah, it's not. It's sterile. They are messy. They are people. They are assholes. And yet once again they tell good stories. So if you like Star Trek but need more and maybe with a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, there it is. And now maybe since you know
I
even
could say
more
a little
of it,
bit about it. Like, here's the thing. To state here, because I know that on this show I've expressed my disdain for Lower Decks, but I have told you in private I rewatched Lower Decks, and it got better.
It is.
So I've had a
a
reformation arc with Lower Decks. I still think the first season's not that good, but it got
True.
better. This show is what I feel like a lot of people who like Lower Decks felt about Lower Decks, being like such a good Star Trek show that didn't take itself as seriously.
Yeah.
I really love this show. The first season does have a little bit of growing pains because, well, it is Seth MacFarlane's like first like live action show, I think, ever. I mean, he made Ted, but like
Ted came after, didn't it?
No,
it came before. It's a live action show.
The first Ted movie. Well,
a movie, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Ted was a movie, so you have like a 120-minute kind of thing versus the Orville. So there's some growing pains in there, but like I don't know if I've said this on the show, but I've said this in conversation. I love Seth MacFarlane as a creator and writer when he's just allowed to do his own thing. When you put more cooks in the kitchen, it gets worse. This is very undiluted him, and I think that's what succeeds. It's why the first seasons of Family Guy is so, like, it's why American Dad is as good as it is, like, he's a very talented person. And the Orville's, like, one of those things that I point to being like, this is what you should look at, because he's also, I mean, he's the main character.
Yep,
and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's such a good asshole.
It means there's always a risk when you cast yourself as a star.
But, like, he makes himself very flawed.
Yes.
But the whole cast is great. I love their, what would you say, that Klingon...
her? Here?
No, him.
Oh, him!
I love him. He has a lot more focus later on in the series, especially in his personal life. And it is so funny because he is as stoic as ever the entire time.
Always talking in this voice.
There's a holodeck episode, and it's so good, and it involves him, and that's all I will say.
Would you say, for those familiar with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that his complete monotone death...
It's very much like the Sergeant. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
But, like,
so
he's also one of my favorites, him. He has so many good plot lines later on in the show. Like,
so far
one of the most fascinating ones that is like, if you ever wanted a good deconstruction of time travel and its like impact, he is like the main character of one of those. Also, I love his actor because if people have watched American Dad, that's the voice of Steve, like the kid. And he does sing later on in this show, and it's great because he's a fantastic singer. If you've watched American Dad, you know. So it's like, I love this show. As someone who's been a Trekkie since they were a kid, like, I would watch New Generation with my dad. Like, I adore this show. It's so fucking funny. And it gets better and better, and they keep rumoring that they're making a season 4, and I really want it to be true. Look, Seth, you have so much money with Family Guy.
In season 3, did it end on a cliffhanger?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But also it's the thing of, I guess maybe that's like a PSA for the industry. Seth is such a titan in the industry.
Listen to her, series industry. Whatever.
He's a titan. I think you could say that. I mean, he's what other animated show creator hosted the Oscars? Like, it's one of those things. Like, and even then, it's hard for him to get some of his stuff greenlit. And also, this show does have a fairly high budget, which makes sense. But, like, I know that, like, there is scripts made for the Orville season 4, but when the writer's strike happened, like, everything went suspended, including, like, Family Guy and American Dad and everything, because he's, like, a big union person. I think he gave like $2 million to the Writers Guild during it.
So a good person on and off set.
And I mean, I think he's also an advocate for getting, like, Cartoon Network shows and everything because only Simpsons, Family Guy, like, adult animated shows are part of the Writers Guild. Like, normal animated shows are not, which means that they get paid not union, which is awful. And he's a big person of that because he came from Cartoon Network. He used to write for, like, Johnny Bravo and shit. he's a cool guy, so support a cool guy's thing. I mean, don't think you pulled it up, but I wanted to talk about the Ted show, so it's like the two Seth MacFarlane things.
I guess I can bring this up too.
Because let me tell you about the funniest show I've watched this year.
Oh boy.
I will say this. I was not a huge fan of the first Ted movie. I found it funny enough, but like, you know, it was not my cup of...
Oh, look, there he is talking.
There he is, yeah. You know, the first Ted movie wasn't my absolute cup of tea, but it had good moments. I like Ted 2 more, which to some people is a very hot take. But like, the Ted TV show is possibly the funniest live action show I've watched this year.
Huh.
It is so good. And, you know, part of that may come from the fact of I am from, like, the kind of New York, New England area that these characters are from, and they violently act.
Isn't this
that is also, yeah, he's in this show too. He's the dad.
The pilot dude,
yes,
yeah.
He's the dad. So this show basically takes place in the time, so if you've seen the Ted movie, Ted is a teddy bear that's brought to life by magic when the kid was a little kid, and then you see him in adulthood, played by, you know, Funky Bunch Mark Wahlberg. This is the in-between stage where they're in high school. And my God, it is so funny. Because Ted just goes to high school with this kid.
Yeah.
And the guy who plays him, like Mark Wahlberg's character, I like him more than Mark Wahlberg. I mean, that's not a hard thing to do. But, like, this kid is such a everyone here is such a charismatic actor. And I think what I love about it is that none of these characters are, like, absolute assholes. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, they're brash people, but you could tell that they obviously care about each other. Like, it's a very real feeling.
Family.
It's a real feeling family. Mm. And also, you know, this is like the 80s, 90s era of like, and I love good period pieces. This feels like it. Like, it doesn't skimp out on it. And also, the conversations between these two in particular are just so funny. That's the thing. Even with the first Ted movie, my issues with it aside, the dialogue is always hits really well. Seth is really good at writing. Seth and the people he picks are really good at writing conversational dialogue. One of my favorite bits is the Ted and the kid are walking up to the school, and they're in Boston, so this school is filled with white people. Mm-hmm. And this white show has all these white people, and you just hear Ted be like, "How does it feel to be the only white kid in this school?" "Yeah, we had an Indian kid once." "Huh. Oh, really?" "Yeah, and then they got to him." "What do you mean they got to him?" Like, it's so fucking good. And, like, everyone has a moment to shine in the show. The mom, the cousin, you know, these kids, obviously, and the dad. The dad is a fantastic conservative character, because, you know, he's a very, like, you know, brash, kind of stuck in his old ways boomer character. And he's constantly at odds with, like, the more liberal cousin that's living with them. And then there's, like, a great episode where a toy car comes to life, and he becomes really good friends with the dad, and then the toy car comes out as gay. And he's like, "'Cause I like men. I think about doing to men what you want to do to women." And it's just like a big moment of him being like, my best friend, the toy car, is gay. It's a really funny show. And it's 8 episodes, and I really like it. And even if you... I would say this is a better way to get started with Ted than the actual Ted movie.
I mean, it's a prequel, so technically you should, if you want to watch it in canon chronological order.
Also, like... No, the way to watch it in chronological order is watch the first 10 minutes of the first Ted movie when it's actually like them as a little kid, pause the movie, watch the Ted show, and then go to Funky Mark Wahlberg. Detail. But like, it's... I
believe I watched the first Ted movie.
But it's also the thing of Ted as a concept was originally pitched as an animated show, and it didn't get greenlit, so he made the movie. Ted as a concept works better as a TV show, and this really shows it. It is the one reason I got Peacock, was to watch the Ted show. Oh. I canceled Peacock after I was done, and I will get it back when Ted Season 2 comes out. Yes, there is a Season 2 coming, so, like, because this was, like, one of the most watched streaming shows last year. But yeah, so, I recommend Ted. Seth MacFarlane is doing great things that aren't Family Guy. But yeah, that is Ted.
Do we still have anything else?
No, I think everything else is... I mean, did we have any other first impression things?
I don't think so.
Like, yeah, we talked about Batman. We talked about Phasma. We talked about Orville. Now I talked about Ted.
So...
Unless everyone wants to hear my arc of starting to like Kesha and Chappelle Roan again, no, I think we're all good.
Okie dokie. Then, I guess I can say something about that art of the week up there.
Oh yeah, what is this art of the week? Who is this Noodle that does doodles?
Yeah, Noodle. Yeah, I couldn't fit it in here, but yeah, Noodle Doodle. Noodle Doodle is a new art project that somebody started who wants to practice drawing more, and it's featuring obviously my persona.
Yes.
And therefore it's an art of the week because it's tangentially related to this show, which nowadays is an absolutely sufficient qualifier for being featured.
Yes.
And remember the first year or so when we got original fan art, specifically about the show.
Noisy's a very busy person. Okay.
No, not just Noisy. I mean, who was it with always the big sparkly eyes?
Big sparkly eyes. I don't remember.
There was some artist who kept drawing every other
was
week.
it Miles?
No. So, I'm not
I miss
sure.
Miles.
Yeah.
I hope
Miles
they're
was a
doing
good
good.
bean. Yeah. But yeah, Miles also did some, specifically the naked one. Yes,
that's one of my favorite ones. One day. That'll be the last AWKWARDCast episode because we'll get banned off YouTube.
Excellent.
No, if we put it under educational, then it should be fine.
Ah, I see. But yeah, let me see if I can. Very quickly, 18, 17. This looks like the first.
Oh God, I don't want to go back in time.
Let's do the time.
This was when we were still audio.
Oh yeah, this was audio only. When did we start featuring art? This is another. I believe it took us quite a while before we started featuring it at the. Oh look, it's also an in-person episode.
Oh yeah, very
How
fitting. When you still tried to get that Star-Lord goatee.
Yes.
Could you tell that he liked Star-Lord?
Yeah, look.
Ah, Theo.
Yeah. Oh wait, nobody can see that. That is very inefficient. Yeah. So now people can see it. I believe Thea was one that drew a lot. There was also somebody else who made even more sparkly eyes. Not just.
Come back.
Yeah.
What did we do?
Whoever you were, come back.
What did we do that you left?
Yeah, Grey Cat didn't do much for Awkward, did he? He just
Grey
did.
Cat just
general did.
Grey Cat just came out of his cave and sometimes drew banger artwork and then went back in.
Yeah.
But nah. But no, follow Noodle Doodles. I'm very happy as the person who's been bullying him all the time to keep drawing more.
True story. But yeah, I guess I forgot to put the link tree in the. But yeah, if you're not on Twitter for good reasons, there are also alternative outlets.
Yes,
there's
Blue
even visible.
Sky, Tumblr.
This is once again not visible. I'm not sharing it
there's
again.
Blue Sky, Tumblr, Instagram.
It's Noodle Doodles everywhere.
Everywhere.
So, good branding, very good branding.
Very drawings of noodle quality.
Exactly.
Which I came up with.
That's true. I had my own social media expert there on hand, so.
It was literally, I was sitting on the couch.
I mean, the mysterious artist behind Noodle Doodle had you as a...
yes, the mysterious artist.
Who uses my...
Nobody did
exactly,
it.
Who happened to have permission to use my persona as the
it was
star
just such
of
an
Noodle
inspiration.
Doodles.
It's just, but yeah, the mysterious artist, while I was sitting on the couch earlier, was just like...
Also, just noticing, definitely unrelated.
Oh yeah, the one time you could actually see your shelf because you had to move the camera. But the mysterious artist was just calling me on the couch because I was sitting on the couch, and the mysterious artist was like, "Key, yeah, mysterious artist, when I go to the bathroom, can you check these profiles and see if you can add anything to... I'm paraphrasing because I know Mysterious Artist does not use the term zhush. I do because I'm vaguely Yiddish, but like, zhush it up. Okay. But yes, go follow everyone.
In the hope that there will be more than one coming out.
Didn't Mysterious Artist say that they've started episode 3 but not episode 2?
Correct.
Yes, the strips are called episodes also, apparently.
Are they?
You kept calling them episodes. Or Mysterious Artist kept calling them
Mysterious Artist, right. But yeah, I guess
that is the art of the week.
That is the art of the week. Welcome to Noodle Doodles. We have questions over here. To start on Twitter, then we also have awkward over here, unless you want to go on the phone if it's easier for the eyes.
I will go on the phone.
You go on the phone for the eyes. Okay, but to start on good old Twitter, a question from Fidel. It's a simple question this time. Favorite Leica movie? Which now brings me in the embarrassing moment that I have to remember what all are Leica movies. So
Coraline is Kubo and the Two Strings, Missing Link.
Oh, Missing, okay.
I am better than this. I know these things.
We know that I'm not better than that.
Leica doesn't have a lot of movies.
It's true. Isn't Paranorman is one of them? Yes.
Also, okay, I looked up Leica and it gave me the dog that died in space.
Are they named after the dog?
I don't know, bud. I don't. Honestly, I don't know. So Coraline, obviously. The box trolls missing. Oh wow, there's not a lot.
Wait, which dog did we kill in 6 minutes? Oh, probably the Mysterious Artist joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coraline, Paranorman, box trolls, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Missing Link.
But yeah, to answer the question, mine would probably be Missing Link. That's the one I felt most drawn. I believe I even Caroline, because it was available on Netflix and stuff, I actually rewatched more than once. But it was like that's kind of like the price of entry for a Leica movie. They all look great.
Yes.
But yeah, Missing Link was, probably the chillest story. So the most lowbrow story.
Yeah.
And I guess it spoke to me. Make out of this what you want.
Professional Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch lover here. Mine would be Kubo. I adore Kubo and the Two Strings. And I went to see it in theaters. I really love that movie. And also it looks... every Leica movie looks spectacular. Mm-hmm. But that one looked extra good. They literally broke a world record with the skeleton puppet that they fight on. Because that thing was 8 feet tall. Will still piss me off to this day that the fucking Jungle Book live action movie beat it for best visual effects. I will never not be mad at that.
Rightfully so.
But no, I think Kubo is mine. Very easy question.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's pick something with a little bit more bite to it.
Ouch.
No, it was a good warm-up. Thank you, Fidel. Oh, God. The first one my eyes were drawn to. Not a man or a mouse asks, this is for you.
Oh,
What do you think...
Uh-huh.
What do you think Skibbity Riz is? Chrissy, don't tell him.
Okay,
what do you think? What do you think this Gen Alpha ass thing is?
Mm-hmm. The thing is, I have already learned what Riz is.
Yes, I think I've explained it.
Potentially. I got a vague idea, and I was like, okay, just for understanding. Oh, derived from charisma. Okay, got it. Oh, you have Riz, you are. Okay, Skibbity Riz. What do you think what Skibbity Riz is?
Don't keep saying it.
What, Skibbity Riz?
I don't like you saying Skibbity. I don't like you saying
Skibbity.
Gen Alpha things.
But the Skibbity as a term, I believe, existed before in probably a completely different context. It sounds like a magical formula,
yes.
Skibbity Beeba, Skibbity Booba.
It's like scatting, yes.
So, Skibbity Riz. So, first... coin flip is it good or bad? There are terms like negative Riz, but Skibbity could mean that it's negative. Really? Does it really sound that bad when I say Skibbity?
No, it sounds bad when anyone says it. It sounds bad when anyone says it, because it's a stupid word.
Chat, don't tell him. But at some point I need to... I take it you do know what it means. So you can be the resolution at the end when I'm done guessing. Okay. So first there is the 50-50 chance. Is skibbity a good term or a bad term in the context of Riz? Skibbity. Skibbity. We really sound like one of those older generations that are asked to describe Pokemon or something. Skibbity. I sincerely mean this as thinking about it, not to annoy you with me repeating the word, but that is a very welcome side effect. That's an alpha word, okay. Oh wait, Wolf himself already gave the resolution.
I mean, it literally translates to goofy. Here's my thing. I decided to look up skibbity on the Urban Dictionary. Okay. So the first definition is skibbity is a word usually used to start a convo, specifically a convo filled with brain rot, which I love. My favorite thing though is the second definition. Skibbity, a word used by gamers who are on YouTube Shorts every day and are on a 3,000-day streak of being a virgin. Ouch. This word is used when the gamer wants to be funny and tries to say someone else's joke louder to them. I mean, if we ignore all of those descriptors, but goofy charisma, I dare to say I do have some skibbity riz myself. Oh God, please go home. Just already am. Go to a different home. That is called breaking and entering. Thank you. No, you know what? No, thank you. Negative, thank you. Now I can go to my Gen Alpha nephew and be like, hey, nephew, don't you think your uncle has some skibbity riz? And then, I'm assuming this is the nephew I've talked to. No, it's a younger one. Wait, the nephew you talk to is Gen Z? Is Gen Z. Only the youngest one of the three, the Gen Alpha. Okay, so I need to meet your nephew, and the first words I'm going to say to him is, run away from your uncle. Run. It's me Apple, as in like seductive Applejack? What? Mega Annie thing. It's me Apple. Seductive Applejack? Is this you? Is this you? If so, hi. Hi, or other Apple. Yes, so next question, I guess, on Twitter. Oh, yeah, we have one more on Twitter by, obviously, J-Rod. Exactly. Between Fidel and J-Rock strongly holding down the fort. A question, not just from me, but my fiancé as well. Congratulations on that front. But then again, I'm not even sure how much of a congratulation it is. J-Rock could be anything from a 16-year-old where I'm like, already fiancé? Oh wait, there's an age. Is this an age in the number? Then it's a good age. If it's yes. Yeah, if it's sure enough, yeah. I guess. If but 1998 is your birth year, then the skeleton pony is with the orca whale pony. Oh. So, because if I remember correctly, J-Rog's with my friend Anna Melody. I'm thinking my friend Shuka is with another person named Snickerman. Everyone's with too many people. Everyone should just date each other, and it would be easier for me to tell. But anyway, so this question is not just from me, but my fiance as well. That's a Twitter question. I get to read those. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have only 2 questions. Only 2 questions to read out loud. I'm sorry, sir. You're not taking them away from me. For both, would you rather become allergic to all your favorite foods or all animals? Now that is an brutal one. That's a good one. That is this is a murder. Ooh, this is how J-Rog, S tier one today. Put that on the tier list. That is a violent one. Damn it. That's the thing. Food and animals are two of my favorite things. Like stuff like video gaming, I spend a lot of time and I really like it, but it's something where I'm like, maybe I would be better off without. But I cannot say this about food or animals. Yeah, like, so this one's actually allergic to my favorite food. So I would be allergic to curry and pizza. Okay. I believe I know my answer. I know, I'm just analyzing it. I would be allergic to curry and pizza and, like, chicken and pot, because I have a lot of favorite foods. But being allergic. No, today at the market, I got to pet a 12-year-old dog named Ruby, who was an absolute sweetheart.
Oh.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Big apple pie, not seductive apple.
Oh,
AJ.
wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Seductive AJ is another follower, which hasn't been in chat in a while.
Yeah, I hope they're doing good.
But yeah, welcome back.
Big apple pie, that's a name I haven't heard quite in a while. But yeah, no,
12-year-old dog petting, but
Yeah,
you petted him on the way back from a nice restaurant.
I know. Here's the thing. There is the possibility that with losing my favorite foods, I would gain new ones. And I assume this question doesn't suddenly make me allergic to whatever I gain as a new favorite
That
food.
would be a very easy out when oh well, I can't eat it anymore because I'm allergic, so I discover a new one and I'm fine. Haha, loop. This is very
if you eat
loophole-y
something
answer.
often, if you eat something often enough, I feel like it becomes something that you enjoy. So like either, I guess the non-loophole way is that you're just eating food that's meh for the rest of your life, and I don't know if I could lose that simple pleasure.
That is the thing.
But however, this is hard for me because I love animals. As Max and Denim has seen, I will say "aw, sweet baby" to every dog that we pass, hoping to telepathically get them to walk up to me. I don't know if I could deal with not being able to pet a dog ever again. So I'm going to go for allergic to the foods.
Okay. Funny enough, I will pick the other one. But here's the thing. The reason is basically because I am not willing to give up on either. We are just talking allergy. So, my thought is that I wanna... food allergies are like actual dangerous.
Yes,
Like
we are aware.
You eat a bad food and you might your throat might clog up and you could legit, like, if not hospitalized, you could legit die. And then of course we have all the swellings you always have from people with peanut allergies that are.
We have me, who if something just is not labeled correctly as having something in it,
exactly.
you have a swollen throat for 3 days.
So here's the thing, that with food I see there is an actual health risk. However, with animals, as somebody who especially in the past was highly allergic to cats, and I like cats, and due to my allergies, I am by default a person of every other kind of animal, dog person, ferret person, whatever, because, well, cat is not going over well, but the thing is, like, you can still interact with the animal. You then afterwards have like eyes
or you have
and
to take a lot of allergy medication beforehand.
Exactly, but it is like manageable. And fun fact: my brother-in-law actually is also allergic to cats, but they have cats as a family, and because he is basically the fun thing. When they adopted a new one, he was like, took the new cat. Just to see if it triggers him at all. So
yeah, I mean, I remember one time you were visiting, and it was the last day of your visit to California. I think this was
the cat cafe.
Yeah, we found a cat cafe by our hotel, and we're just looking out the window, so sad, because they were looking at us, and we were like, we could go in there, but you have to fly soon. And it was the thing of, like, there was a woman passing by, and he was like, well, you know, you could take some Claritin and stuff. And it's like, I'm sorry, lady, but he has to fly. I'm sorry. And it was sad because those cats were looking at you. They were like, hi there.
Well, they're cats, they're assholes. They know who the weak one is.
But yeah, so I get, there you go. You get 2 separate answers.
Yeah. Out of one, would you rather? So back to the
Discord.
Cordal.
Please something better than that last one.
Why? It was fantastic. I learned something about myself and my skididdle riz.
Skibbity Riz.
Definitely what I said.
Not Skittle Riz.
Skididdle. I said skididdle. Skididdle. Okay.
Snoop Dogg?
Okay, question back to you, Wolfhead. If you know all your slang so well, what is skididdle Riz? Huh?
I hate you so much.
So aren't you reading a question?
Yeah, sorry. I just had to get it back into my head that I paid to be here.
Still true.
So,
And technically, so am I. It's called rent.
From Asleep at a Concert. Ask Awkward. The wizard decided to transform you into your furry OCs. What's the first thing you do? Okay, Odie, you're in chat. I need to ask this qualifying question. Are we anthropomorphic, like Zootopia kind of thing? Like, are we anthropomorphic in that we're actually still human-sized but animals, or are we like the size of the actual creature? This is a very important qualifier. That makes a big
difference, yeah.
Like, is he just Rocket with blue hair, or is he like fursuit head became real and anamorphed? Like, that is a big qualifier here.
Fair point.
Good. Well, since the latency, I mean, I guess Ayn Wye's OC would just do noodles that are doodles.
I was about to say he starts a Twitter account and or multiple accounts on multiple platforms.
I guess that to start the 2-foot mink and ferret.
Okay,
so Zootopia kind of
Zootopia
rules.
logic. Okay.
So what would you do if you turned into your little blue-haired ferret?
I mean, there's of course also the question like, is it just us? I mean, from the question, is it decide to transform you? It's this wizard, so it's probably not a global issue. It's just
us two.
But I would assume that it still doesn't mean that we immediately get turned into it doesn't turn into a scenario where then just all the scientists and whatnot hunt us just to dissect us.
We get to live at least the beginning of this story casually.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the first act of the movie.
Like with Cat, now where everybody's just accepting of the magic.
It's a We Bare Bears universe where they're just accepting there as animals that can talk.
Okay. So we are then still a lot smaller. I mean, one few first things would be to get a smaller keyboard and mouse that I can actually use with my.
But your workout could be that you actually have to write on the keyboard.
Yeah, but I still want to be able to use my computer.
You can finally see the appeal that your ferrets had with walking over your keyboard.
True. But yeah, I still want to be able to use my stuff.
Okay, this is my qualifier to you, Odie. Are we our personas at the same time? Because my answer is very dependent on if he's a human and then I'm my mink and that kind of thing. I just want to know. But anyways, what were you going to do?
I mean, this is more like...
Besides getting proper equipment.
I just want to assume that the wizard is nice and transformed with a standard outfit. So I have a tiny red vest and a tiny red shirt and a tiny black vest.
You have your costume.
So I'm not naked. What would I first do? I mean, I'm becoming small and woozly, so I would probably just woozle everywhere and go into places I'm not supposed to.
I'm imagining you finally get to see what sleeping in the positions a ferret sleeps can be like, being like, this can't be comfortable. Oh my god, it is.
If you don't have a spine, this works. Yeah. All of those things, yeah.
Okay, I mean, I do love, and this would be the plus if we got turned into our personas at the same time of Denim getting the backpack with the little... ting, and us being both in it, like, hello. But, so, the first thing I would do if I turned into my little mink is eat a raw chicken leg, because that's what they do. Just because, like, I would be a predator, and I could do these kind of things. But then besides that, I'm going to assume that we're, like, our personas at the same time. I would bully you so much because a mink is so much bigger than a ferret and so much
bigger.
I'm finally taller than you. And
Good
bigger.
thing that I was always nice and did not make fun or jokes on your expense or your height's expense. Otherwise, you would have an actual justified reason to bully me for the height difference. Good thing I always was nice to you.
So that's what I would do. That's a thing, though. I would just be a menace.
So what's different to right now? Yeah, you would be taller, right? You established that.
Do you want to continue on this line of words?
No, but we have another question to ask.
Okay. Wow, way to get out of there, Skibbity Riz Lord.
Yep. Skibbity Riz.
I hate it so much.
Wait, no, Skibbity Riz or
It is-
Skedaddle Riz? Because I'm skedaddling out of here and I'm looking good doing it. Skedaddle Riz.
I'm not looking at you. Oh, this is a very fitting thing. Asleep at a Concert also asked, what's the corniest line you've recorded for a video? It can be yours or someone else's, and do you stand by it? Most of the corny shit that I've said is for things that other people have written for me, so how can I stand for it? I don't know, honestly. I mean, honestly, some of the corniest shit I've said on recording has probably been for a TF2 video, so... I don't know. I don't know what the corniest thing that I've said is. Like, I don't know.
Same.
I have no shame, so nothing can be really corny, can it?
Well, that was
No, it's a good question.
Yeah,
it's more me thinking of, like, what could it be? I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe something from for me, I guess DA Knockout. But the thing is with DA Knockout is that I usually try to be the most unhinged one, so I don't, like, I mean, the most unhinged, one of the most unhinged things I said was the hypothetical of if you scream at a piece of chicken long enough, can it cook it beat like an air fryer? And I stand by it, it's the same mechanics. Air fryers are just hot air. In theory, you could cook chicken with screaming. But also in theory, you could cook chicken by slapping it 1,000,005 times. Scientists have proved it. Yes, exactly. It is just energy.
Huh.
So yeah, you know what? If that's the goofiest, corniest thing I've said, I stand by it.
Yeah, I'm lost on that one. I don't have anything. So, I guess next question.
Next question. It's a would you rather. From Deaf Alchemist. Would you rather be able to talk to... Would you be... Okay, I have to reword it. Would you rather be able to perfectly understand your pets like you would a human, so be able to talk to your pets, or have your pets always listen to you like a command or something? One's a more power trippy answer than the other one. Here's also the thing. I mean, your most recent pets have been ferrets.
Having them listen.
What
an unrealistic... You don't get ferrets for them to listen. Also, if you can understand your ferrets, or your pets in general, if you can understand your pets, then this means that you can basically start negotiations. So instead of becoming just a tyrant, you could be like, you hear what they say.
Yeah.
You can understand how much they understand what you say due to their reactions.
Yeah.
So you could establish some form of communication and then have a proper coexistence. So this is not even would you rather. It's a very clear winner to me personally, at least. Unless I'm overlooking some catches there.
I mean, here's the thing: is that if you're
or power trip.
Here's the thing: I mean, once you.
There's also the risk that they're very rude, that's true.
Yeah, there's the risk that they're rude or that they're actually smarter than you. Or there's the risk that they are dumber than you, so you have to basically hear all their... You have to hear their basic thoughts of...
Food, pooping corner.
Exactly.
Like, oh my god.
You basically have to hear them be like...
There are certain risks, that is true.
Food. Shit. And if it's a dog, before it gets spayed or neutered, hump. Like, it just has to hear the... Or you hear it, like, talk to you. Like, if you're in the bathroom and it's on the other side of the door, it's like, hey, I
smell what you're doing in there.
Why won't you let me in? Like,
I told you earlier that this smelled very nice on the way in. It still smells nice. Just give me a bit. Like, oh, no.
Or like,
there are certain
the
risks,
worst would be if it was a dog and it's begging for food and it's just like, hey, can I have some? Why can't I have any?
I guess the second one is the safer option.
It's safer, less interesting.
The first one has more potential, but the latter one is the safer, just to have a well-behaved
yeah, because I have to assume that understanding your animal doesn't come with an off switch.
Yeah.
So there you go. I ruined the fun of that one for you. So let's see. From Sailor Ranger Prince. You're adding so many professions to your thing, Enigma.
What we don't know is that he actually is doing all those things for the time when he carries his name.
It's like a Barbie doll. If you had to pick an album or soundtrack that best encapsulates you as a person or character, which album or soundtrack would that be? Now
we had questions like those before, didn't we?
I think we've had like, what's our movie song? Like, what's our song for like our movie trailer or opening thing?
I mean, it's a fair question to come back every once in a while, since things change.
Things change, things grow. I feel like it's more fun for us to come up with ones for each other, so I'm gonna add that qualifier. So I gotta think of an album or something that encapsulates you. Honestly, I mean, you are a chill dude, relatively. But honestly, I think you'd be a ska album. I think you'd be like a really good Real Big Fish album. AKA any 2000s movie. Where you'd hear...
I could work with that.
Where for some reason, there's like some hip-hop songs from Outkast, and then suddenly Goldfinger is there. And it's like, what are you doing here?
Now I have it. Now he has a bar is pretty highly raised for my
I'm basically
album.
Describing the first Scooby-Doo live-action movie soundtrack, I realized. But still,
well,
like
it happens.
It is a great 2000s era, like, oh my god, kind of soundtrack. Because Sugar Ray's also in there.
Well, what I give you?
So yeah, maybe not, this is my mixtape for you, I guess.
Yeah, I could go with something cheap, like whatever, best of the.
I like Wolfhead's. Chrissy is like half the Bowling for Soup discography. That's a great compliment. I love pop punk, so you know what? That is a great compliment.
But yeah, I mean, I could go for an easy, low-hanging fruit answer and be like, oh, the best of Beatles album, but just because it makes part of your personality. Then again, not as much as, for example, the Abbey Roadie.
Yeah, not as much, but I mean, it's a music taste and stylistic thing.
Exactly, but
I would argue that my music.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I would not associate that with you as a person necessarily.
People may not know, I have a very eclectic taste in music, so it's like I don't think that 60s rock is actually my total vibe as a person.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean, this is a hard question for me because mine depends on the day. Because some days, you know, I'm very like, I'll play like My Worst Enemy, or like you know, I Know You Too Well to Like You Anymore, or
I know you too well.
To like, or High School Never Ends, so Bowling for Soup and stuff like that, or In Too Deep, like, you know, a lot of ska and punk songs. But then there's some days where I'm just like, I want to have like those kind of like high pump, like girl power anthems. Like I said earlier, I've been getting back into Kesha and got into Chapel Rowan, who's like a new artist, and so like Pink Pony Club and Joyride and shit
then
like
you
that.
see a dog on the street and you basically turn into the Bluey opening.
And you know, then you have all my Broadway stuff. I'm a very show tunesy person too, so it's hard. But
It is
I mean,
hard.
you've known me for a decade, so you have to pick something. Maybe just one song. What's a Chrissy flavored song to you? I'm making this simple.
Simple.
What's a song that you think of and you're like, that's Chrissy? And don't say the Bluey opening again.
I already gave one song. At least when you come across a dog. What do we have there?
I can guilt you more in person.
But I'm mostly looking at the screen, so
Yeah,
I
but
still
you
see
see
it in
me.
yeah, and I know that this is happening right next to me. But that's the thing; it has nothing to do with guilting and more with a lack of creativity.
That's true.
So, time to start a new project called Noodle Moodle, and Moodle in this context is supposed to mean music, and it's all about a noodle learning its moodles.
I mean, I know what song the AWKWARDCast is, which is I Know You Too Well to Like You Anymore by Real Big Fish. That song is just us encapsulated.
And yet here we are 257 episodes in.
Oh, God.
I believe, when was Can King? Can Cream was, I believe, the 255th. So we're either 56 or 57, depending on who we had in between.
We had nobody in between.
Oh, then we are, 256th episode today. And I need one of those thingies to use. A song. Circle of Life.
From Lion King?
Yeah.
I need to know why.
Start slow, then big bombastic build up, and at the end, baby cups get thrown through the area. Obviously. What? Excuse me?
I'm not accepting that answer.
Excuse me?
It's okay. I accept it.
Good enough. You just want to throw lion cups through there.
I do want to throw lion cups
Who
through
doesn't?
the air. Okay, so...
Probably people who actually look out for lion cups. They're like, no, don't throw them, you fucking maniacs.
So, let's see.
Do we have a final question left? We burned through a bunch of Would You Rathers.
Yes, hold on. I'm looking at these last two and picking which one could be funnier.
Okay.
They're not funny. They're not funny.
Do we have any old Would You Rathers we haven't used in previous...
Let's see.
Or that I have forgotten about? We had this one, yeah. I sub to know. Much appreciated. I believe I even recognize your avatar from over there.
Okay, you know what? I have a question.
Oha.
Okay, we both have had pets in our lives. I think this is a fun one. What's your favorite pet story, like, of your pets, of them doing just some kind of shenanigan where you're like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Because I know we watched that Rebecca Parham thing about her dog Charlie. So, like, what's one of your, like, pet stories? And this could be either childhood pet, recent, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I'm sorry to all my dogs of the past, but not just do they have the downside of being further away and therefore recency fallacy. The recency fallacy works against them. But yeah, it kind of has to be something from the ferrets because they are fucking ferrets. Sorry, dogs. It's hard for you to compete when it comes to shenanigans and noteworthy stories.
What's a noteworthy shenanigan?
A noteworthy shenanigan. I mean, we already told the story of Himbo's Day Out.
Yeah.
We told the story of Rocket's Day Out.
Did we?
I believe so. It was like, it was on a rainy day.
Okay.
So, I believe at this point in time, Himbo might have already been gone off duking in peace in the wide fields of the hereafter. So it was a very rainy day, and I'm not sure what the context was. I believe Denim just took him out. We like to play with him in the hallway because there we didn't need to put him on a leash, and he still was very begeisterd, and sometimes even like did war dances and whatnot, and ran up the stairs up to the 6th floor and all the good stuff. But no, this was a work day, so I was not there for this. I was here on my computer doing some home officing, and so suddenly I hear like tong 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 on the window to the outside. I'm like, what's up? And I'm like, okay, what's up? Like, Rocket has run away. Like, Rocket is on the loose. Like, what? So the thing was like, having memories of Rocket's first snow. Oh, Rocket full harness on the leash, door open. Look, it's snow. literal 180 walking back in like, nope, too cold, shitty weather is not my thing, let me get back inside the warmth. So this was the knowledge we operated on.
Yeah.
However, coming from the experience, like, okay, he doesn't like nasty weather. Like, the thing was like, look, boy, back door, rocket on the arm, back door open. Look, boy, this weather is shit. Setting him down to just take a look at how shitty the weather is. However, he like, under the hedge. And, like, at least this time, we knew from the get-go that a ferret was missing. This was an improvement over last time where we only noticed, like, the flat door is open.
Oh, no.
And the front door of the building is open. Rocket? Himbo? Where are you? Himbo is missing. I found Rocket. So yeah, this time at least it was not like ferret on the loose for unknown period of time. That time it was like ferret on the loose, but under the hedge and out of sight. Like, he must be somewhere nearby. Where is he? And the good thing is, where I'm still counting my blessings, that ferrets do not like to run over open fields, so they always stick to the corner if they can.
Yes.
So, knowing this about ferret behavior and hoping for the best, and also hoping that no neighbors had open doors, because again, they just follow the path. But if there's an open door, new territory to explore. If there would have been any door open, he would have been gone, and who knows how the neighbors would have reacted if a wet ferret. Because again, it was like weather. The weather was like downpour. That's the point why Denim was convinced that just putting him down and seeing how shitty the weather is would be convincing enough for him to not do what he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure how any neighbors would have reacted to a soaking wet ferret suddenly entering their room, and so thankfully no doors were open, and I counted on the fact how I've observed ferret behavior in the past, and so I just checked along the building outline, and then at some point I noticed like something walking. Then all I had to do is wait at the end of the garden he was currently passing through along the building wall. Wait at the end of the garden, and the moment he came along the wall, got him.
He got this wet little rat.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite thing with the ferrets was the fact that Himbo just adored me, which was really funny. Because just to say, I have my own pet story, but it was a thing of like, whenever I visited, Himbo would always let me cradle him in my arms, and he would always like rest on me and stuff. Like, just naturally. I took a nap on the couch, and I woke up, and there was a little Himbo on me. I think someone has a picture of that, too.
We probably placed him there, but he stayed. That's the important part.
He stayed. And it was really funny, because I remember you specifically being like, that little fucker.
Yeah.
Because he tolerated everyone else, but he loved me. And I think it was, I think you said, what, Gremlin Solidarity?
Maybe something like it, yeah, since he also was
Rocket
a short boy.
also likes sleeping, because I stole a hoodie from you, and Rocket likes sleeping in the hoodie when I had it on, so ferrets like me. That's the end of that. But my pet story is from my old dogs, Ringo and Josie, my little beagle babies. And Josie was a character. She was sweet, she was a good mom to puppies, she was as dumb as bricks. And I mean dumb. So we had a couch with electric recliners in it. This is already a great story. And we got Josie like a few months before that, right? And we're relaxing and we're pressing the button for the recliner. It's not working. Why is it not working? And keep in mind, we had the couch pretty close to the wall at this point. Obviously not pressed flush to the wall because there's a power outlet. And we're like, what is happening? And so I got up and looked to the side, and who's there but Josie the dog with a power cord split perfectly in half part of it, it's still plugged in, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
But it was completely split. And I'm like, how are you not dead? Because wouldn't that electrocute anyone else? And she's just looking up like, hello. So yeah, we had to return that couch, which was great. Everyone loved that. But my favorite story about Josie is all of our other dogs, if they got off leash, they would just run off, you know? Mm-hmm. Josie, though, was stupid. And so she got off leash one day, and she was just walking up and down our little block on the road. And I'm like, it looked like when, like, people take little jogs. Mm-hmm. And how she would go is that she would walk, sit down, look that, like, in the direction, and do that. And I'm like, are you on watch duty? What are you doing? I mean, maybe looking for boyfriends. That dog got pregnant twice. But, like, she was just such a weird little dog. But I loved her to bits because, you know, she was like a Basset Beagle mix. She wasn't tall. And she was also terrible at jumping. We had to help her on the couch because she was just not good at it. She tried jumping. She could reach the height, but she wasn't good at the aim. So if I brought her to my bed, I would have to pick her up and put her on the bed. And she just always looked at me like, why am I here? What? Huh? Huh? Oh, that's high! Like she thought that the bed was like on the ground. And so when she tried to get down, there was always that moment of okay, and then walk off. Like when she would get off the bed, she never had any spatial awareness, which is so weird for a hunting dog.
Wow.
And yeah, I love that dog, but God, sometimes I would look at her and be like, you are such an awkward little creature.
Ayn Wye and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random crap. It's time for awkward It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward It's the awkward. Hard work and analysis which you do not want to